So today is a cloudy day, thank goodness. I'm going to turn you around. Just wanted you to see the clouds. It's so beautiful. Welcome to everybody. Welcome to Porch Talk. I hope y'all are having a great, oh my goodness, today is Wednesday already. I've been super busy. I haven't made a video in a couple of days, and I don't really have a lesson planned today, but what I have is a lot of these cards. And so what I thought I would do is just pull a card and talk about it, right? If the sun comes out, I am prepared. Miss Cheryl brought her hat. So instead of being concerned about all the sun coming up, I thought I would just bring a hat and throw it out there. The only thing that would keep me from going is rain and stuff. So I hope that you all got a chance to enjoy the beautiful moon last night. It was a full strawberry moon. Gorgeous. I had a friend come over and we went down on the dock, and he took some great pictures. So did I. Our pictures were really lovely. And then last night I went out. Again, and it was equally as beautiful. And I plan on going out tonight. But just going down there, checking my crab traps, hanging out, and enjoying nature. And I hope that you all take the time to enjoy nature and the beauty around you. I'm very fortunate to live where I live, and I wish each of you could experience this place. And also, if you want to see, where I live, I've posted pictures down in the community tab on my page so that you can look, and I show pictures of the dock and of the marsh and my surroundings, and they really are beautiful. And if you're interested at all too, I also, sorry, my glasses are dirty. I also did, like when I first started, a walkthrough of Porch Talk, just to show you where I shoot my videos and a little bit about the place that I live. And I live in St. Mary's, Georgia. It's a wonderful place, small town, lovely. Um, and it's just it's a small hometown thing. It really is. Oh, here comes the sun. I'm gonna get to test my hat out, right? So I thought today that I would just pull some cards and let's talk about what the cards are saying. And so I like these cards, and so the subject matter is not always going to be the same. We'll kind of flip flop on subject matter. So just know that this is not a talk directed in any way. It's just mostly about these affirmation cards and things like that. So the first card that I love, it says embrace change gracefully. So a lot of us, we get stuck in routines. We tend to want to control everything, and sure, structure, I believe, does have some good aspects to it, but I also believe that being over structured can be very damaging. And I think over structuring actually is a form of fear. So try not to stay on one thing for too long. Sure, plan through an issue if you have an issue, but just don't stick there. Move on. But change is hard for all of us. I love to change. I love learning new stuff, meeting new people. I mean, I'm very, very much into that. And because now I'm careful about who I let into my world, that's for sure. But I love meeting people. I love hearing their stories. I like hearing about their lives. It brings me joy to do that. But it says embrace change gracefully. So be willing to learn new things, do new things, meet new people, go new places, have fun, doing whatever it is that you choose to do. But don't keep yourself restricted to, as we get older, some people really pull back and go, well, I'm not valuable anymore, or I'm ugly, I'm old, I'm fat, I can't do that anymore. Yes, you can. You can. You got to change your mindset. Our later years, I'm 65, they're best years, best years. I absolutely, love my age. I love where I'm at. I love the people I'm hanging out with and I have in my life right now. I'm so blessed, and, reconnect with God and discover the joys. There's a lot of joy out there now that, especially if you're going towards retirement, your life is going to change. So just be willing to allow change, to accept the change, and to implement change as well. I love this one too, and it says, you are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. I love this one. Ooh, let me put out there. So again, never too old to change directions. If you don't like where your life was, never too old to I hate the world or the world can't talk this morning. The word old, it automatically stamps a nasty, whatever on you. I don't ever refer to myself as old. I'm not. I mean, for my age, I'm still really, really, I'm in good physical condition. I'm good mental condition, and I plan on staying that way forever. But it is my decision to do that. I don't let life do me. I do life. Super important. But this one says the best way to predict your future is to create it. So if you look at your life and you sit down and you go, well, I don't have any friends, or, I don't have this, I don't have that, so really sit down and think about what thing that you would like to learn or to do that that you've been putting off, okay? And then find a group. If you're over 65, senior centers are great. A bingo. I play bingo with a group of people who they're older than me, but I love them, and they're fun to hang out with. Really, and really young people at heart, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, I mean, we do all kinds of activities together. We're having a barbecue on Saturday, or on the 5th. But I mean, all kind of really just fun stuff. You gotta find you a group of people that are kind of going in the same direction. Join a gym, do pool aerobics. There's so many things, arts and crafts, so many things that you can do. And and this one I love too. Again, we're bouncing around. It's not going to be the same subject, but this says at some point you have to realize that some people can stay in your heart, but they can't stay in your life. So that's a hard thing. You got to be careful about who you are. Pardon me. Energy drink, so good. So good. Very refreshing too. But you have to really take a look once your life slows down. You kind of get out of the work scene. Figure out who are my real friends. Who are the people that are going in the same direction. This is so true. Oh yeah, that's so much better. I like that. But who's going in the same direction, and but I like the bow in front. I'm going to do that. Yeah, I like the bow in front. It's backwards, but I don't care. But who's going in the same direction? Who's not? Who makes me feel good? Who tries to keep me down? Who is positive? Who is the friend that I have that's always got drama in their life? Get rid of that. Because it's going to bring you down. It's going to bring you down. So, be careful who you let in your world and who you let affect your headspace. Get in with people who, like I say, are going in the same direction as you. And you'll find your life to be a lot easier. A lot easier. And so this one says, let me see. We'll just pick one of these out. I'm grateful for the blessings in my life. So a lot of times we look around, I don't have this and I don't have that. I want you to dash that, get rid of that mindset, because you have a lot more than you think you do. I made a talk on, are you rich and you just don't know it? We're all rich. God blesses us with, hopefully, a roof over our head, good friends, family, hopefully, and if not, you got to work on fixing that. But the things that we do have, we need to say thank you, God, before you get out of the bed, before you touch anything, do anything, put your feet on the ground. Thank you, Lord, for letting me have another day. Thank you, because you know what? That is such a gift. And you know what? And you should be excited about how you're going to use your valuable time that you've been given today. Yes, super valuable. But you got to be grateful for all the little things that you have in your life. And because if you're not grateful for the little things, God's never going to bless you with big things. This is true. So I'm just going to, oh, this one I love. So this one is, it's a card for patience. And it says, create a place in nature's stillness and be renewed. Take time alone to find balance. Step confidently towards your purpose. Patience will bring you rewards. So be patient with life. Be patient with the process of life. We're not all going to get everything we want when we want it, because it's all in God's time. That is the truth. But find, it's like me. This is my jam right here. I go to the dock. I sit there. I invite my friends to come over, and when they see this place, they're just like, because it is. I tell them before they get here, this place is like heaven. It really is. And I've had people tell me that, like, oh my God, you are not lying. And again, I am so very grateful that I have this kind of place to live. And I pray that one day you all will get to, have a place like this in your life, or at least know somebody who does. I'm sorry, I got some shiny stuff under my eyes. But, be able to visit. You can go to parks, you can go different places and experience what I call extreme nature. I live in extreme nature. Now, we live away from the city. There's a couple of pieces of property out here, but they're all widespread out. The people here are very nice, super safe, super safe. But it's just a real family orientated place, and I just love it. And I like to bless people by inviting them out here, and to see the sunrise, sunset. To watch the tides go in and out. Just to smell the air, because we live pretty close to the ocean too. So you can smell the ocean and you can smell that river. It's really refreshing. But find your place in nature and absorb it. Absorb all of the blessings that God gives us. And nature is definitely one of those blessings. Another card that I have is called Mastery. I'll show that to you. I'll read it to you. So it says, you are on a spiritual journey. And, spiritual journey beyond the sky. Let go of the past and soar. You are guarded. You are guided by the winds of spirit. Your wisdom inspires the world. So mastery, if you want to fly with the eagles, the successful people, you got to hang out with these people. You have to, be willing to learn, and you have to be willing to hold yourself to a high bar. If you don't, and you're hanging around with people who don't have the same bar as you, guess what? They're never ever going to come with you on that journey. They're going to keep you from growing, because when you grow away from them. And then people feel like, oh, well, if I want to keep her as a friend, then that means that I have to change too. Guess what people don't like to do? They don't like to change. They really don't. I'm very sad for that, but it's just part of life, it is. So I'm just going to cut the deck here, and I'm just going to grab one. So it says your mind is a powerful thing. Fill it with positive thoughts. That's so huge. I have a friend, I love her dearly, and I'm teaching her to use the power of I am. That whatever you say, I am not this, I am not that, I don't like this, all the negative, you can't do that. You gotta say, I'm not familiar with this, but I'm willing to learn. Help me. Can you help me learn? And God will bless you, with sending somebody your way to teach you. But to always just instantly get frustrated, it's not going to work. It's going to make things a lot more difficult for you. But if you say, I am powerful, I am strong, I am willing to learn, I'm willing to change, I'm willing to grow, I am made in the image of God. God created me to be successful and powerful. And those are the kind of things that you should be saying to yourself. don't talk about the things you can't do, because anything you can't do, it's because you won't do it. That's true. If you can't do it and you want to do it, learn how to do it. Simple, really. That's a simple thing. But yes, watch positive talk. Positive talk is super important. I'm just going to pull another one. It says, where there is love, there is life. So, yes, having love in your heart and love for the world, not necessarily be part of the world, but there are parts of the world to love. But where you are, where there's love, it's like going to a church. I went to 1122, and they had a prayer session at the end where people come up who are having difficult moments, and they anointed them with oil. It's not a Catholic church. It was, I would say a Baptist church. But kind of an open congregation. You can wear whatever you want there. You don't have to get dressed up. But, they had a lot of people, a lot of broken people, you can tell, who had, marriage issues. Some of them were sick, things like that. And they all came to the front, and the people anointed them with oil and prayed. And my friend and I, right now, I'm not having a lot of problems, and I'm so blessed by God, and I know I am. And the guy who was saying, come to the front, let us pray for you, he said, if you're not up here getting prayed on, you better sing, sing, sing. He said, because it's a joy that you don't have anything that you're really dealing with. And he was right. And I did. I sang the whole time. And I felt such love in my heart, but also, heaviness for some pain that people were going through. You could tell people were really having some issues. But, I just, that place was full of love. It was full of love. Full of maybe some broken pieces of life. But, we all stayed there and we praised God and we sang, and it was beautiful. It really was. It was beautiful. I challenge you, if you don't feel like you have love in your life, go to a church like that. There's one here up in Kingsland in Georgia that I go to when I can't go to 1122 because that's in Jacksonville. I have to drive far. But there's always good churches, and you meet people there. So, it's a good resource for love. But where there is love, there is life. And you're going to be a lot happier if you're hanging out with people who have their hearts full of love than people who are in misery, and they complain, and I don't want to be around people like that. I have issues with that. I want to be around people who love life and who are at least trying to find a way, to put more love in their life. So here's another card. It says, I take special care of my body and mind, emotions, and spirit. So yes, this is a multi-prong thing here. So, you only get one body. God only blesses you with one body. God only knows through my earlier, crazier years, I abused the heck out of mine. And I'm really fortunate to be in the great, wonderful shape that I am, and in the physical health. But, my mind, I filled my mind with poison. And what came out was poison. That's to be truthful. But I have some good friends who've got me going in the right direction, have really helped me to see that there's, another way, that, I didn't have to live in a state of depression or a state of deprivation or self-hatred or anything like that, that, I could take a step beyond that and become a happy person. And now it's my goal to help you guys. That's why I do these talks. I do it to spread the word that there's hope and there's love in this world, that, there's a lot of the other stuff out there. You just got to stay out of that muck. You got to find people who are looking for joy and happiness in God. And I think finding God really is just a big thing. But your emotions, protect your emotions and your spirit. If you are around people who are dumping their problems in your head, people who are harming you emotionally, maybe you need to step away, and you got to protect your spirit. I find that when I'm around people like I just described, that they suck the spirit right out of me, and I immediately retreat the best that I can, politely. But when I meet people, I am very sensitive to people's vibes, if you want to call it. I read people very well. And if I get that vibe off of somebody and it's strange to me, it's a no-go for me because again, Cheryl's world, Cheryl protects herself. Now, have I misjudged people? Yes, I've misjudged people. Um, but I usually recall, meet them again in a different situation. But if I get that weird, strange vibe, I ain't going for it because I don't need any of that in my life. And I'm not going to say I'm too old. I'm too mature to play that game with people. So I just don't do it. I'm trying to find one that I haven't done. So I love this card. Happiness blooms from within. So, yes, you can have money. Yes, you can be beautiful. Yes, you can have possessions. You can have all of those worldly things, but your beauty's going to fade. Your money, you may hold on to your money, but money does not buy happiness. Take it from me, I know. And, and unless you, as I've gotten older, more mature, I hate the word older, I hate that word, but as I've matured, certainly for 65, I still feel like, I still have my health and my youth. I still look youthful, but I know those things are going to fade, and they are fading. And I take very good care of myself. I supplement, I exercise, I do all the things to promote my longevity and to promote the way that I look too. Because I'm not just going to let myself go. That's not going to happen. I've been a beautician and in the beauty industry since 1986, and I was trained. I was trained to look like this. The nails, the makeup, the hair, all of it. I was trained, and it's embedded in my soul. Let's put it that way. I'm not one of these women who just go, I'm old now. Forget about all that. I'm sure that I have women my age. They don't. First of all, they don't know how old I am. Second of all, they're the ones that do that find out how old I am or believe I'm an older person probably think, why is she still doing all that? Why is she still wearing all the makeup? And I dress nice. I take good care of myself. I always wear jewelry. I'm stylish. I believe that this is me time. This is me time. I've given a lot of my life away to children and things like that, and careers and all of that. And I feel like it's me time. So I like what I like, and I do all I can to, if you want to call it, be a little selfish. I am. I'm, like, say, guarded about what comes into my life and who's in my life. If you want to call that selfish, I guess some people would, but when you get more mature, your beauty is going to fade on the outside. It does. But I hope that the one thing you see in me, in my face and in my countenance, is that I'm not just a pretty face. I want to exude the love and the joy that I feel in my heart, and I want to spread that to everybody, and I do, and I really do. I feel like that towards, as you mature, I think that's our job. We're given all of life experiences. Hopefully we learn some valuable lessons. But it's now our turn to be mentors to people. And I feel like, that God tasks us as we get older to become, to become mentors. And that's what I am. I consider myself a mentor. So, and I hope and I pray that each one of you who are listening, get something out of my talks. It's very important to me. Please leave a comment below. Check out my community tab. If you can like, share, subscribe, and definitely comment. Let me know what you think. I try to do a talk a day. I haven't done one in a few days because it's been so hot. I can't even tell you. So when it's hot like that, I'll take a video like this video and I'll make shorts out of it and I'll post the shorts. or I'll post a card with a saying. Or I used to have a group called Positive Vibers, VIBERs, where I made like positive, things that everybody got one a day. I hope to be posting more. There's that. You can take that, maybe share it with your bestie, or put it on Facebook or whatever. Sometimes I do a voiceover, but I'm always doing something that spreads the bloom that's inside of me with the people that I love, which I don't know you, but I love you. I do. I do. I love everybody. And, I pray that, these talks are a blessing for people. And just to let you know that life isn't older as we mature. It's not. It's just beginning. And of course, as you mature, there's new challenges, that's for sure. But take care. Ooh, sorry. I started banging on my table. Make sure that as you are hitting 50-ish years old, that you are really paying attention to your health. Get in shape. That you're correcting your diet. That you're exercising. That you are mentally staying stimulated. That you, start, looking at your friends, looking at, things that are irritating or bothering to you. Start fixing those things now, so that you can enjoy your life. That's what it's all about, enjoying life, and as we mature. So let me pull another one. I love this. It says, the good things in life are better with you. I love this card. I love this card. I'm going to give this to somebody. I'm going to give it to my best friend, because and I have another best friend, and it's a he, and we share a lot of, time together, but those people are very valuable in my life. They bring me joy. They share my time. They lift me up. I lift them up, I hope. And, we talk about everything, and people know, one thing they know about me is that I've lived through a lot of stuff, a lot of life experience, and people know that you have issues. They can come to me and can open up to me and talk to me, and that I'm not going to judge them. I don't judge people, because, oh my God, if you folks knew my life early on when I was a wild thing. That used to be my nickname, Wild Thing, if that gives you an idea. But if you judged me on my past, you might not like me. You might not see the light in my face. You might see something completely different. So I don't judge people, because I am a perfect example of how you can change, and how God can lift you, and your friends can lift you. I'll say that I only have 2 really good friends in my life. And thank you, Giovanni, and thank you, Miss Melissa. I love you both so much. You're such good friends, and I enjoy spending time, with each one of you. But I meet a lot of good people along the way, and but I know that those people, I can trust them 100%, and that they're okay to come into Cheryl's world. Cheryl's very protective, because I've been burned. I've been burned in the past. So, but yes, so the good things in life are better with the people that you love, and the people that you trust, and people that build you up, people that'll hear you out, that'll help you through tough times. Very special, super special. I'm putting that one aside. I am. So let's pick out one that I haven't read. I know there's some that I haven't read, my goodness. All right, I love this one. So we're coming up on 29 minutes. We'll do a few more. This one says, set goals that make you want to jump out of bed in the morning. So instead of getting up, I'm going to put that a little closer so maybe you can see it really good. I'm sorry, it's probably waving a little bit. It's kind of windy. The clouds are rolling in, so we're supposed to have rain at 10:30ish. So gonna go as long as I can, as I always do. At least it's not 1,000 degrees out here. Oh my God, you just have no idea. By the way, for people who live in the South, it is mosquito time. And I have found this product. Oh my Lord, there's no DEET in it. It is, it repels Zika, all kind of stuff. West Nile, all kind of stuff, and it does not have any chemicals in it. It is, let me see if I can find it, but anywho, oh, so it's got acetic ethyl ester in it, and but anyway, it doesn't have any DEET. It has no smell. It's not sticky, and this stuff works. So I had a friend, he just went out and bought a whole bunch of stuff. He said he's never seen swarms of mosquitoes. And he works on the Navy base, so I mean, he just said, oh my God, I can't believe the mosquitoes are like this down here. I said, oh yeah. So he actually went to Bath and Body, believe it or not, and bought a bunch of eucalyptus and, you know, things that he had looked up to, you know, to protect him from mosquitoes. And I said, I have some stuff called Zevo, and I said, my daughter turned me onto it, and I said, this stuff works like a charm. And he said, oh man, I wish you'd told me. He said he spent a bunch of money on stuff, and I said, well, you'll just smell like a eucalyptus tree. But we put that on the other night on our legs and arms, anything exposed. I sprayed a little on my clothes. No smell, and it's not tacky or sticky. Went down, and we were down on the dock on the river, which if you know anything about that, as soon as the sun sets, oh boy, you better have something on, because they will attack you. You can literally, if you don't have anything on, you can feel them hitting your skin, you know. None of that. I maybe had two attacks, you know. I wore it again last night. I went out earlier and went and ate lunch down by the river at my favorite restaurant, Siegel's in St. Mary's. If you're ever there, stop by. And I didn't wear any. Oh my God, I was totally attacked. So Zevo works. I'm not represented by Zevo. I should be, but I'm telling you, anybody who lives in a mosquito or gnats or anything like that totally keeps everything away. So that's my talk on Zevo. It's really, really good. I'm gonna just be quiet for a minute, because this is getting ready to, well, I'm gonna end it right here on part 1, and I'll do a part 2, okay? All right, I'm gonna turn around and show you the clouds again. There they are, they're coming in, and that's gonna be it for part 1, and I'll come back with part 2. Thank you.